Hey guys, what's going on, Jay? I just wanted to talk a little bit about the 92nd Academy Awards, aka the Oscar that took place last night, and some of my thoughts and reactions on it. Yeah, the Oscars was I was really disappointed by it because I, like I said, my favorite film of 2019 was The Joker, and it was the most nominated film of the night, but it only won as far It only won one award, and the award was for Best Actor for Joaquin Phoenix, which I said was going to happen, but it also said that it will probably win Best Picture. It did not. The movie that won Best Picture was the South Korean film Parasite. Now, I didn't. I can't really comment on this film because I didn't really see the film. But if I see the film, when I see the film, I'll make a video on it, my thoughts. But it went away with four awards last night: Best Director, Best Picture, and two other awards. Um, as far as speeches, I thought one of the better speeches was by Joaquin Phoenix when he won the award for the Joker. He basically just said, although we get up there as actors and actresses, they champion political causes. And we have to remember that we all are in this thing together, and it's sort of like echo chamber. In the Hollywood world, because they keep repeating the same mantras and they keep repeating the same phrases over and over. But at the same time, we don't, we leave other people out because we don't deem them worthy enough, for defending people such as his character Arthur Fleck in the movie The Joker. Like the movie The Joker was such a deep movie about ostracization and social alienation, like I said, and he basically just went up there and he advocated for that, you know, for that cause, and it was a really emotional speech, and I loved how he, when talking about his brother who dealt with drug addiction and who dealt, you could tell he felt really sad. A speech that I didn't like at the awards was Renee Zellweger. She won for her portrayal of Judy Garland, and she just basically went on a tirade and a rant about, you know, mentioning different film icons and different cultural icons: Serena Williams, Selena, Martin Scorsese. I think Martin Scorsese was robbed too when it came to best director. Obviously, I wanted Todd Phillips because again the Joker, but I think I did see The Irishman, and it was a really good film, and I think Scorsese should have got the award instead of um, the South Korean gentleman who got it. And I think even he kind of felt like um, Scorsese should have got it because in his speech he says how big an influence Martin Scorsese was on his filmmaking career. But why do I think they gave this film Best Picture instead of the Joker? Well, I think for one reason, when the Joker was released. It was released amid a lot of controversy about incels, about you know lone wolf shooters, and about people like Nicholas Cruz and stuff. And they didn't want to really seem like they were giving validation to any of these people, and also because in the past, like a couple of years ago with the Oscar so white hashtag, the Oscars has been accused of being very racist, very prejudiced, and very elitist, and only nominating so-called white quote unquote films. So I think they wanted to give this nod to the South Korean film because they wanted to prove how quote unquote woke they are. You know, Hollywood is always trying to top itself in terms of their preaching of social justice. But like Joaquin Phoenix said, a lot of times in the process of doing that, they leave out, they overly represent one group, but they'll leave out another, the accomplishments and the struggles and the hardships of another group. So, and what he said, they just ended up proving he, they ended up proving him right by not making the Joker um, the best picture. Best supporting actress was Laura Dern for Marriage Story. Yeah, I love Marriage Story. It's a very engaging, very thought-provoking film, and I thought Adam Driver was probably going to win uh, for best actor if Joaquin Phoenix didn't get it. This is his second nomination and the second time he's lost. So he's a really good actor. He was really good as Kylo Ren. He was really good at Marriage Story. He was really good in Black Klansman. And of course, being a big sports fanatic that he is, Spike Lee comes out in Kobe Bryant's colors and Kobe Bryant's number to represent for Kobe Bryant. And when they gave the, talking about the people in entertainment that we've lost over the course of this year, the first one they showed was Kobe Bryant, and the audience erupted cheering. So the one I thought was going to win big, Ford versus Ferrari, did not win big in really anything. The one I was pulling for was Joker, and it didn't really. It won in the category that everybody was talking about because the big thing with Joker was like, could could he get could he win the award and tie with Heath Ledger, and he did. Joaquin is a very talented performer. I've been a fan of him since Gladiator. I watched him in the film um, These Few Won't Get You Far. I've watched him in a ton of performances. He's a really talented character actor, and he really gets into his roles. But yeah, the South Korean film Parasite, I gotta check it out before I even give my opinion. But the other ones, I saw Ford versus Ferrari. I saw Marriage Story, like I said, which I loved. Scarlett Johansson was brilliant in that. I didn't see Judy, which is very odd because I love um, stories about women from that, the people from that era of Hollywood, that classical 1930s, 1940s era. And Judy Garland, of course, is an icon, not just because she was in movies like The Wizard of Oz or being in St. Louis, but because she represents, she's an icon of political resistance for people of LGBT persuasion. Um, yeah, and Star Wars didn't win any awards, even though it was up for two. 1917 took away a lot of awards. Now, One thing that confuses me about 1917 winning special effects is that okay, it's a war movie. It's not even, there's not really that many special effects in that. You know, I mean, granted, Star Wars is a war movie too, and it's funny because I was thinking that Star Wars is kind of like Star Wars Rogue One is kind of like the same plot as 1917. You know, except 1917 is a true story, and Star Wars Rogue One is not. You know, but I don't understand how that 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 come in an award for special effects when the effects weren't even that good. Um, Compared to a movie that's more speculative fiction esque. But movies like this that are speculative fiction, the Oscars tends to snub because they just want to seem elitist and they don't want to nominate or like the movies that the general public like. So films like Avengers Endgame or Star Wars: The Force Awakens don't really get any play by the Oscars. Famously, that happened last year with the film Black Panther. I thought Black Panther should have won last year at the Oscars. It did not. Moonlight, I mean, Green Book took away the award, and once again with Parasite, you have a film that is a film that is different, a film that not a lot of many, not a lot of people saw, not a lot of people liked. People did like Parasite. Don't get me wrong, but not a lot of people saw it. It wasn't commercially successful. It was critically successful, and I did hear a lot about it. I heard a lot about it in comparison to the Joker because it deals with it. Apparently, it deals with similar themes as the Joker. But in terms of animation, um, Toy Story 4 won in that category, which is well deserved. In terms of music, um, Elton John's won for the Elton John and Bernie Taupin won for the Rocket Man, which again, the music in that was spectacular. So well deserved there. And the South Asian guy that came out for Hamilton and he rapped and he mentioned that Admiral Holdo, Laura Dern, won the award. So that's the point I got. I liked his rap because he was basically saying exactly what I'm saying now, that the Oscars is becoming more diverse and trying to include people of different races and ethnicities in their award selection. But I just wish that they would pick movies that are more, excuse me, liked and more commercially successful because it comes off as like the Academy is just really pretentious and really has their heads up their asses when it comes to this. But anyway, um, I'm out for today, and the Oscars is over. And check out some of those films. I know I will check out Parasite. I will check out Bombshell. Bombshell. I was the one that Robbie is in. Um, I want to check that one out because that's a historical story, but that's something that really happened in our time with the firing of Megyn Kelly, who exposed Roger Ailes from Fox News, and the whole backstage politics of why Megyn Kelly actually left Fox News, other than the comments that Trump made towards her in the debate. You know why she actually left Fox News. I want to check that out. I didn't even know that movie existed, but I will definitely check that one out because that seemed like something that interests me. Um, yeah, it was really and the the documentary that won in girls skating in Afghanistan interests me. And then one thing that caught me kind of off guard, she actually the director from there actually quoted directly Karl Marx. She said, "We workers of the world um, should unite." Yeah, so I was like, yeah, you have a line from the Communist Manifesto being quoted at the Oscars in the underbelly of capitalist society. Here's a lady makes a movie about gender equality, and it's um, it's quoted. Um, these movies that were nominated, they dealt with heavy themes, and they were really good films. You know, I'll check. Like I said, definitely some of the ones that I haven't seen, I'm definitely gonna check out and make videos on them. Bombshells, like I said, is one. The documentary is another. The one about factory workers in China and the factory workers in um, the Midwest is one I want to check out. But somebody somebody said that the best picture category of 2020 has the coronavirus. Yeah, kind of fucked up joke, but you know, overall, you know, it's whatever. It's a benchmark in our entertainment zeitgeist, so people watch it. It's like with the Super Bowl, just like with the Grammys. Speaking of the Grammys too, um, album of the year winner Billie Eilish yesterday at the Oscars. She just seemed like she was really smug. You know, like she just seemed like she wasn't into it at all, and she just didn't want to be there. I don't know. What do you guys? Peace.